always clear that I'm going to go for GMAT. So I had no idea about what kind of course
Mhm.
syllabus there is, and verbal test is something different. It's not the usual day-to-day English or the English that we've grown up learning. So as I said, blank slate. I relied completely on top 1% material. I
Mhm.
did not prescribe any other. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Manan?
Yeah, relieved.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when did you give your exam? The
I gave my exam on Friday. That just
okay.
went by. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is very, very recent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, a big congratulations. It's a very, very brilliant score. You have a GMAT 695. That's 98th percentile. And I'm very happy for you. Richard told me about your journey. So it's amazing to hear this. It's very fresh. So you would definitely know exactly how you felt when you saw the score on your screen. So maybe you can share that too.
So I mean, uh, yeah, I went into the exam with confidence. I was feeling confident. That's why I booked it. But sometime into the exam, sort of nervousness started to creep in. And
Mhm.
I was on the RC section, and there was a verbal passage, the first verbal passage that came. I was reading it, and the same time in my mind, it's going, okay, shit. I'm nervous right now, and the fact is that, probably the exam gap needs to be 16 days. What should I do? I really need this section to go well. I was already done with the DI section by that time, but I had to like actually stop for a moment and take out these thoughts away in the middle of the exam, because I cannot just I'll ruin the entirety of my two sections if I'm doing that. So I was very relieved when I saw the score. I was confident, but again, the relief is very much evident on my face, I guess, right now.
Great, great. It's very difficult to actually acknowledge that thing in the middle of the exam and actually tackling it that effectively. That's so happy for you. And that's definitely commendable. Yeah. I'll just stop my share. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So we can just begin with a little bit brief intro of
So
yours.
yeah,
Also, what made you choose GMAT or MBA in general, and also how you came to know about top 1%.
yeah, yeah. So I started. It's been 3 years since I've been working with Bain and Company. So I just felt it was the right natural step for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very clear from the very start that I would probably want to go down the GMAT route and explore options outside. I felt that I had it in me to, go for and try to reach for the top universities. And I think getting a good GMAT score is the first step towards that. Obviously, it's a holistic thing, but a lot of it also depends on GMAT. So while other things can, just you can deliberately work towards it, but at the same time, you can, just be regular and good at your job. You can earn promotions and earn the right sort of work environment for yourself. But GMAT requires deliberate thought process. So it was a very deliberate step, and I felt it was the right one for me, given the context of my work experience and just, in terms of how I see myself 5 years down the line.
Mm-hmm.
With regards to top 1%, I'll be very honest. I mean, I did not do much research. I was recommended uh, top 1% by one of my friends. I was like, you know what? Let me just try the demo. I'm not even going to search for it. If I like the demo, I'll sign up for it, because this is something very personal. Everybody, has a different style of studying, and I know myself that I am motivated enough to, go for the things that I want. I do not require hand holding. I just
Mm-hmm.
want that whatever I need help with in terms of conceptual clarity or what kind of content there is, if I like the explanations, that's exactly the kind of content I'm looking for. So I need not search for anything. If it's just there for me, I'm going to go for it.
Got it, got it. Yeah, that's perfect actually. So, when you initially joined, so when was the point of time when you actually joined Top in Person?
Right. I signed up, I think, January and February early days.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So when you initially joined your prep for the GMAT thing, uh, what was the initial hurdle that you were facing for the each of the section? Like, I understand that there'll be it was a bit of a random thing for all across the sections, or it was one particular section where you feel okay, this is something that I'm very much struggling with, like I'm way on the below bar.
So I mean, I get that people, search up these things, what kind of content there is, and some switch from CAT to GMAT. For me, it was always clear that I'm gonna go for GMAT, so I had no idea about what kind of course
Mhm.
syllabus there is and everything. And I was like, you know what, if I'm signing up for something, I know I'm gonna require help with it in the terms of like everybody says it's so goddamn competitive. So if I require some help, I'm sure I'm gonna get it the right way, in terms of like, there was no struggle as such because I did not have a starting point. I was
Mm-hmm.
just starting
Correct.
afresh from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just started, and I've been good at math, I've been good at English throughout my life, but this kind of verbal test is something different. It's not the usual day-to-day English or the English that we've grown up learning. So it was different. I mean, I just saw the demo and I was able to realize I got, I think, howsoever many verbal questions were there, I think I only got one of them right. And I thought I'm good at English. So, I mean, what's going wrong? So, yeah, I think that was a shocker straight up.
Yeah, I mean it's a different ball game with all different rules. Something that you're
Yeah,
not used to your in your general English language or math in general anyway.
right.
Yeah. So initially when you were, I mean, I'm guessing you were from an engineering background. Were you?
No, no, no. I have done my commerce, and I've also done undergrad in finance only, so non-engineering background.
Okay, okay. So but you were still, I mean, with the finance background, you must have still a bit of comfort level with the quantum guessing.
Yes, yes. Quant has always been my strong suit. I mean, I've also done CFA. So, I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
concepts and quant is sort of something that I've kept up with throughout my work. Also, it's not like once college got over, I stopped working at it. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So initially, when you were going for the JMAT thing, you were able to get that accuracy up easily at a very good level, at a very fast pace, or you did fall into a lot of traps and all those tricks that are required that can solve this question efficiently. You were not able to do that. Was that a process?
I'll break this down into, maybe say, separating the quant in the quant section versus separating the quant in what we see in the DS section,
Mm-hmm.
in like DS as part of DI.
Yeah.
Data sufficiency was something that I struggled with, honestly, and that is something that I was struggling with up till very last stages of my prep. So data sufficiency in terms of, I mean, I fell into traps while I was able to get the scores right. Also, it's not like questions were not going right. I knew the concepts and everything, but the recognition of traps is something that I really got better at over time with practice. However, in terms of basic quant, I was able to get my accuracy ups from the scratch, and it was just that maybe the final 20% is where I just
Mm-hmm.
practiced. I was there from the scratch.
Got it, got it. That's perfect. And also in RC, I understand that you were starting from scratch. Those where there was like you was like starting from a complete blank slate, so you were much more receptive to the idea of applying everything that there is. But still,
Yes.
did you face a bit of hurdle of any kind of friction in terms of applying those concepts of octave, which is not something you would do
Yeah.
naturally reading a case study or something like that?
Right. It's a totally different ball game. And yes, a blank slate helps to sort of, you are just modeled the way the
Mm-hmm.
course is taking you towards. But I mean, applying Octave uh initially was had to be a very deliberate thing.
Mm-hmm.
However, over time, I think it was in the basics course itself. It's not like I had moved to the live course and then maybe it got inculcated in my thought process. It was during the basics course only, but it was definitely a deliberate thing at first.
Got it, got it. So when you actually got the score, were you also seeing a similar level of scores in your mock also, or you just were a bit surprised in terms of what you got in the score?
No,
Actually.
no, I was getting the score. So even as so I started my preparation in April instead of February or
Mm-hmm.
January, whenever the start date was, because I was busy with a lot of other stuff. And so I started my preparation in April, and I just took 1 month for basics, 1 month for life, and then I thought maybe I'll just do practice for 10 days across the different sections and then give my first mock. See, even in my first mock, I started with a 655 on top one diagnostic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, and then I gave my official mock and I got a 675. So I think for me the key was to sort of look for consistent scores firstly,
Mm-hmm.
that this score performance is replicated, not just a fluke or a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And secondly, just getting that uh beyond consistency, just getting that maybe an improvement of 20, 30, 40 points, whatever maximum I can get. So
Mm-hmm.
this was not at all a surprise for me. Rather, my highest score on mocks, while maybe not that impressive, but it was 715. So I was honestly, uh, I was very relieved at the first onset, but
Mm-hmm.
I was also thinking while when I got my scorecard that hey, there are errors more than what I would usually make. So should I just for once, give, because I think I have it in me to get a better score. But then there is always a trade-off with regards to time, efforts, and the deadlines approaching. So it's a conscious decision that maybe, what, it's still a very good score in the first place. Do not try to, give more time towards it, work on other things.
I think exactly. I mean, in terms of the time and effort that you will put, and I mean, it's a. I mean, from my point, like, I'm not a professional in this particular scenario, but from my personal experience, I think it's a good enough score for, frankly, any of the top schools. Frankly, that's what they look for. This is the bar that you have set, and that's more than enough. Yeah.
Right, right. So in order to answer your question, I was not surprised. I rather, yeah, after seeing the error log, I was just like more disappointed, and I had this urge in me. You know what? Just should I maybe, that way.
I get it. Of course, that's yeah, that's only human, to be honest. Yeah. And when you
Yeah.
were when you were actually struggling with, I mean, there was some point of time where you were struggling a bit of in terms of getting that jump of a score. Did you also use the strategy bit of the top 1% to get some sort of guidance, and was that helpful?
Yeah, so I was enrolled with the basics version of Top One, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I was doing well with it, the concept and everything. But once I saw that my scores is not beyond the two mocks that I've already mentioned, once I saw that my scores were just consistently stuck at a range of 645 to 665,
Mm-hmm.
then I sort of upgraded the package, and I feel that basic course is very good. It's helpful, but if you're like looking for that much bit more of margin for improvement and room for error, then I did upgrade it and utilize the strategy session, and honestly it was very helpful. I honestly think you were the one leading strategy session. I do
Yeah,
not recall
I,
that.
I think I was the one. I just checked the mail, and you were on the Saturday, so 100% I would have been there.
Yeah, so it was very helpful, trust me, Anurag. The insights that you provided with regards to, I was struggling with CR in verbal a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and DI in terms of, you just said two pieces of information that stuck with me with regards to, just analyze my DI mistakes and errors and categorize them as maybe, two-part analysis.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I missed, and maybe just selecting the best of the two option choices or something of that sort on other different aspects of DI as well. And for CR, you gave me a targeted attack plan towards my mistakes, and that really helped. Plus I was also listening in on what others were asking. There was this one person who had asked that there's this pressure of deadlines, so should I just give my exam and everything, and that was something that was very relevant for me as well. And you said, what, just do not take that tension. You have all the time in the world. You only give your exam when you are ready. And honestly, I wanted to give my exam in June, but with that piece of information, I was like, yeah, that is fair. I need to go at it with my best shot. So you know what, I'm gonna give the exam when I'm ready.
I'm so glad it turned out so good. I'm so happy for that part. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, yeah. So when you
So
actually, sorry.
I was saying thank you so much for that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
of
it really
course.
helped.
Yeah, I'm glad that helped. That's my effort. And we all put that effort just
Right,
for these results. So we're glad.
right.
Yeah. So while you were I mean, you were working a very rigorous job at Bain. So I mean, at times it must have been very difficult to manage those prep along with those really difficult projects. So how are you managing the your entire prep? I mean, did you have any kind of structure? I mean, it would have been difficult to dedicate a fixed structured slot because work comes in peaks and in different dynamic peaks. So I don't. So just tell me a little bit about your idea, like how are you managing the entire prep along with your
See,
work?
I can be like hoity-toity and agree with you. But if I'm being honest, I
Mm-hmm.
am currently at an externship where
Okay.
I am in a virtual setting, so I have my own flexibility to shift hours around,
Okay. Okay.
and it was not at as hectic. So I am being honest, I did
Mm-hmm.
get the time, but yes, it is important to stay consistent, and that was the key thing for me. This is an advice one of my friends gave me before even starting and signing up for GMAT, for top one, any of that, for that matter,
Mm-hmm.
that just consistency is the key. So even if you're, not feeling it, take a break. That's fine. Take 2 days, but get back into it. And
Mm.
that is, I think, what worked. So I did not have any schedule as such. It was like work in the morning, and by like 7:30 I used to log off. So I
Mhm.
have the rest of the day with me, and just maybe cut down on some sleep, wake up till 2 and do stuff. So I was able to put in 4 or 5 hours, and over the weekends, yeah, majority weekends, if say in a 2 week period, I was studying 3 days.
Okay.
2 weekends, across 2 weekends, I was studying 3 of the 4 days. So that way,
Okay.
and like full days. So I was able to devote time. And yeah, even like I was down with fever one of the days, and this it had been 3 days and I had not done anything, and I was feeling the pressures of just trying to complete my practice phase. So I mean, I was done with practice. I was just trying to get stay consistent. So I gave a mock. I got a very poor score, I'll be honest, but it was just that you know what, I know I am under I'm ill right now, and I need to be kind to myself.
Exactly.
I will not take this score at face value, but rather as an attempt that, hey, I'm still here working towards it.
Mhm.
So that way.
Great, great, great. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's nice. So I mean, I understand that that you were motivated towards your journey. Was there anything specific that was making you stuck with the idea that okay, whatever happens, I have to stay motivated towards the entire journey? Because it can become a bit difficult because it is a bit of a solo journey, to be honest.
Right. It definitely is a solo journey, and but I think I had help. The person who recommended top one to me is
Mm-hmm.
somebody who I stayed in constant touch with, and you know what, we were talking, and it's like she used to say, "Aaj GMAT ki baat nahi karni hai, please let's not." But then there were other days that we used to talk about, "Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm getting stuck here." So it definitely helps to have study buddies,
Mm-hmm.
and along with that, the motivation needs to come from within. So even if you're not up for it, just go and give a 15-minute 30-minute CR thing is there. That is the minimum amount of time. And just pick up a PDF, do 5 questions of quant. That's it. Just do the bare minimum for the sake of it. But
Yeah.
at least you will stay in touch and you won't feel a gap. Hey, it's been 7 days, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, that's correct actually. And that's what consistency is. You have to stick to it. Just show up.
Right.
Yeah.
On yeah, it's if people like are into fitness, then they do that, right? They stay
Yeah.
consistent in the gym. So it's true for all ethos here.
Yeah. Great. And so when you do so when you gave exam day before yesterday, uh was it in the center or you gave it online
Yeah,
in the
it
center?
it was in a center. Yes.
And how was the experience in terms of the content? Like did you see some questions of anything irregular in terms of what you were practicing from the top content?
No, nothing of that sort. I think top. So as I said, blank slate. I relied completely on top 1% material. I
Mm-hmm.
did not prescribe any other material beyond the what is provided to me. Uh, I did utilize GMAT Club for maybe say if I'm not satisfied or that convinced with the solution, I'm gonna search it up. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be stubborn about it. Not like not willing to accept answers, but if I'm not convinced, I'm not convinced. I'm not moving from this question. I need a proper answer as to why I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So that way I utilize GMAT Club. And maybe during the latter stages when I'm in the mock phase, I gave around 15 mocks, 7 of them from top one, and the rest I utilized other resources for just the mock prep.
Okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
but other than that, the content I feel is pretty much there. There's plethora of questions. There's plenty of passages to give a shot. There's too many sectionals. It's about how you do it. I feel the content is there, hand holding bit is not there, and that is where the motivation comes in. And I feel it shouldn't be there in the first place.
Mhm.
Hand holding shouldn't be there. You should, if you're giving the GMAT, you need that motivation.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. I mean, to be honest, it is a bit subjective to many people, but yeah, I'm glad it worked for you. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. It's very subjective. It's just my personal experience. It could be very different to somebody else, but
of
yes.
course. Yeah, and I mean, you have given very valuable points. And any last do's and don'ts that you would like to share to the future test takers who would be watching this video, maybe now or sometime later in the future?
Right. I feel that people looking at the two different course packages, they might get confused. Hey, you know what? Is basic the right one for me? A self-paced course, would it work? I think it can. It really can. You need to find it within you, and just staying true to whatever is being said. You can challenge things, but have that openness to accept at the same time. As I said, you can be wrong. There's nobody perfect. I mean, people can be wrong. Just have that room to accept the answer, but at the same time, do not go down without a fight until and unless you're convinced. That's one. And second, I think that is the most. The second one is the most important. That people are harsh on this and themselves. I think a bit of grace and a bit of kindness towards your own self throughout this journey can go a long way. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's nice. That's very nicely articulated. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, that is yeah. So any right as of right now, do you have any kind of future plans? Like, are you planning on applying this year itself or next year? Like, do you have a structured plan as of right now?
See, it's already late July, so
Mm-hmm.
I realize if I'm trying to fill in applications in round one for a few, say 4 or 5 different schools, I
Mm-hmm.
might have to put in more hours than this, and I'll be going back to Bain, so that working hours are gonna increase.
Yeah.
But so I am a bit late. So this is the decision that I'm right now making. I'm talking to people and seeing how it best I can prioritize different things. If it's maybe say too short a time, I may call in the plug and be say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try for round two or maybe next year, because I don't have the rush to
Yeah.
just go to the schools right now. But at the same time, if there's if I feel there's enough amount of time for me to do justice to the applications, and not
Exactly.
just one but like all of the options that I want to try out for, then I
Mm-hmm.
think I'll definitely try in round one this year.
Got it, got it. Yeah, that's the perfect way to go. You have to be comfortable with the idea that okay, you are there itself, not just with the score, also with the whatever stories that you have. Like you have the whole package, and you are very confident with it. You are when you feel that you are there, please go for it. And
Yeah.
to be honest, you are at a very good stage. You just passed the major hurdle that was there for the
Right.
application, so you are in a very good place.
Right.
Yeah, Manan, we'll be in touch. Hopefully, whatever comes your way, we'll get to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your time today. It was really, really nice talking to you.
Thank you so much, Anurag. Thank you so much. Can I just add one last bit? And it's like finding that maybe just like being very nitpicky here. Can I share one piece of feedback that I felt was I think was a major thing for me.
Sure.
The content and everything perfectly there, but mocks, I think just the representative level of the mocks,
Mm-hmm.
because if I'm say getting a score of 625, and on the same day if I give an official exam, official mock, I got 715, a 100 point jump is a lot. I think it's so I think the relative difficulty of the passages, maybe I know it's preparing you for the worst
Yeah.
kind of exam, and I totally get that and I'm on board with that. Then maybe can the details be added key, hey, that this is a 95% hard question or a 700 to 800 level question,
Yeah.
then that would go a long way, because I felt ready, but maybe the fact that I was giving top one mocks, and I was still like 660 was the barrier that I was stuck at. And then I switched my mocks and I was instantly able to see a 60, 70 point jump. On official mocks. That is where I felt that maybe I was ready a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
The representative level, if just maybe the details of the question difficulty are added, I am perfectly fine with giving hard mocks, as I don't mind. I like to prepare for the worst, but at the same time it should just be representative. Is that's the
Got it.
only
Got
thing
it.
I'll say.
Yeah, I think it can create some sort of mental confusion to some extent in terms of are you ready or not? I mean, because you turn, I mean, I understand what you mean. Yeah, we'll definitely look on it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that feedback. Yeah, definitely on it.
But if anybody comes up to me, I'll definitely recommend top 1%. I have no complaints from it. Perfect.
Thank you so much, Manan. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much. Yeah.
you.
Okay, Manan. It was nice talking to
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good week ahead, next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Anurag. Thank you so much
Bye.
for your time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.